Yeah, we'll just talk about West Ham.
Yeah.
Kind of a big window coming up for them. They've obviously got Europa League football next season. Going to try and charge in the league. But obviously there's uncertainty over Moyes, and we spoke last week about his links with Celtic and whether he was going to stay at West Ham. But there was before the Conference League final, there was David Moyes came out and spoke about Antonio's comments about Scamacca. I don't know if you saw that. I mean, do you think, if Moyes stays, that kind of opens the door for Antonio to leave?
Listen, I think they've got to do something. I think Antonio, I know it's a podcast and all that kind of stuff, but you can't say that about your teammates. It's just, that's not right for the dressing room.
Yeah.
No matter what way, and I probably get what he's trying to say. It's the same as what I says about the other big lump of wood that come in.
Haller.
I mean, Haller's in a 3, but he couldn't play up front his own. But who's to say that? I mean, the thing is, when Antonio was a winger and he became a centre forward, he became a holding man. Who's to say Scamacca couldn't do that? At the moment, he's not. I get what he said, but you just don't say it.
Yeah.
The teammate, especially when you've got to run in Europe the way they were doing. So it was a wee bit not right. I think Davis deserves 15 games anyway. I think he's got it now anyway. I think they're going to keep him. I didn't know if he would walk after the cup final, but it's a moment it's etched in everyone's history books now. So he'll be there, up there, getting mentioned with the greats, like John Lyall and all that, and Greenwood. So I'm happy with that, but I don't know what way he's going to go this year, because the big boys. Brazilian boy, Paqueta.
Yeah.
He's touching everything. He's brilliant. And I keep saying that he's Brazilian. They don't want to go back away. And the pass was for the final was absolutely weight better. And that's what you want to see. You want to see him, do the kind of passes. You want to see somebody getting on the end there. And when you've got Benrahma and you've got Bowen and you've got Fornells, or no Fornells, he'll be going, I think. But people like that. That's who you want in your team. So we'll see. It's a strange one. The manager, I'm delighted for David, because I like him as a guy, but his football was terrible at the end. Well, he knows it's a result business.
Yeah.
If they weren't playing good football and getting results, nobody would have blinked. But they were getting beat, and they were getting beat with drawn with Aston Villa and things like that, you think. And then saying it was a tough flight and all that flight. I mean, Cyprus, man. It's 3.5 hours for Cyprus. My God, it's a tough flight. You do more on the cargo to training. It's a bit strange. But I'm delighted he's staying, because he loves it. He loves it down there. And he's being selfish, but he loves the club. And he's got to get players in. He's got to kickstart. He's got a lot of kids coming through, and that's not good enough. This league's going to be so hard this year, because Liverpool's going to get better, Chelsea's going to get better. Arsenal, if they get race, is going to be up there. And then you've got your Brightons and Brentford who are playing brilliant. Your Chelsea's are going to be there. Tottenham, it's going to be so hard. So David's he can't bring in kids and bleed them and say, well, we're bringing them in, because you've got to bring in ready-made players that's going to do it and going to want to run and chase their socks off. And I don't know, but it seems to be we played different football in Europe than we do in the league. It's better to watch, but apart from the final was terrible, but that's playing against the Italians. I mean, every one of the finals this year was horrible to watch, because the Italians just wanted to dive and stop and roll about, and, and it was the 3 finals. It wasn't just Fiorentina, Roma and AC Milan were just, they were the same. So it was awful, but luckily football came through in the end with the three of them. So yeah, I'm delighted for David, but he's got to bring in the right players. And, you know, and I think Ings will be gone, because if he's not David's player, then I can't understand why somebody would have brought. If it's true what I heard that it's not David's, he just turned up. That's incredible. You know, how are you doing? What are you doing here? That'd have been hilarious. Welcome to the club. Well, welcome as. I know. I get it. It amuses me. Yeah, but if it's true, it's brilliant.
If it is, you've got to think he'll be gone as well, wouldn't you?
I don't know. He's not going to give in. A boy like Ings wants to play. He's not going to sit on the bench. He's never went there to sit on the bench. He went there to score goals. West Ham used to create chances all the time. They don't create chances now. Not as many as what we did. It's all on the break. And that's not West Ham. So I think hopefully that'll change, and maybe he'll get a lot more game time. If he's hopefully they can get down and get a ball in the box and cause people problems. You know, that's what West Ham. I'm not talking about West Ham wages. Playing football's a bit of a start. So I'm looking forward to the start. I'm looking forward to. You can tell with the fans are optimists. Is going through the roof. We're going to do this and do that, and it's the same every year. In the first half dozen games, let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Hopefully David can unearth a couple of good players and kick them on, because they've got some great players there.
Yeah. Just need to kick on now.
Yeah. I think so. I think the keeper's situation is all right. They'll swap between the two of them, Fabianski and the other boy. I think they'll swap between the two of them. They're decent. They're not going to go and spend 70 million on a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You know, like Liverpool's and all that. And you just can't do that. And it's, but they'll spend money this year, so hopefully David spends it well.
Yeah.
And bring the right players.
Fingers crossed.
Mark Noble's got something to do with things now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He would have been to a lot of players, and he's a footballer, and he knows a player, and he knows how West Ham play. So I would be very surprised in future if a player comes to West Ham who's can't play that way. You know, because there's no point in, as I say, with Hal, I keep going back to him, but he's a wonderful player. He's doing it again where he is, but playing in a three, he's a good player. Can't play on his own, so Noble will pick all that up, and you know, he's an intelligent boy, so hopefully we'll get some decent players that can play into the way David wants to play football, so, and maybe become a better team.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. A couple of the names kind of being floated around West Ham are James Ward-Prowse. He's obviously looking like he's going to leave Southampton. They've been relegated, and Harvey Barnes as well. Leaving Leicester have been relegated. Would you like to see both of those, either of those, neither of those? Pardon?
I like Barnes. I like Harvey Barnes. I like him. He's a good player. And he's a left-sided player, because Fornells was there. Don't know who else he's been playing out there recently, but I like Harvey Barnes. I like him. Good player. I'm not sure about Ward-Prowse, because he takes a lot of corners, free kicks, and that. But we want somebody that's he's not known for the way he plays, is he? As in, you know, he's
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, for instance, corners,
exactly.
A dead ball specialist. You know, bring him on for a free kick. No, I don't know. Maybe it's just the papers. All they keep showing is his free kicks and all that. And I've not seen after the boy to see if he's a decent player or not, to be honest with you. So I'll take the fifth on that one.
Reserve judgment.
Barnes I like.
Yeah.
I'm just racking my brain here. Who plays out left at the moment? Fornells has been coming in, and Ben Rama's better in the middle. So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and also just actually on the final, there was obviously that incident, and I think the first half where the Fiorentina player was injured by some of the West Ham fans lobbing things onto the pitch.
Yeah.
I think UEFA are set to punish West Ham for that. I mean, do you think that's surely that's warranted?
I definitely think so. There's no excuse. There's no place in football for that, And the boys, I was at the fan zone down there, and the boys I was with were like, it's ridiculous. What happened to the checking people when they were going in? So somebody must have brought something in.
Yeah.
It was I don't know what they got in, but people fling things and don't expect to hit anybody, but when they do, it causes damage, and
yeah,
and then they're all remorseful and regret it and all when they get caught. But it's you shouldn't do that at any football stadium. You shouldn't do that anywhere. But it's a thing in football now. They're bringing stuff in, and I don't know where it's going, Charlotte. But they've got to get fined. They've got to, and if a guy's a supporter at West Ham, and then he's got to be banned. Ridiculous. You just don't do that. You can shout your anger at the referee or shout your anger at somebody. You don't fling things. You don't try and hurt somebody. That's not right.
Yeah, just need to be made an example out of as well, I suppose, to show that you just...
Yeah, well, it's getting worse, isn't it? There's a lot of things happening in football.
Yeah, it does seem like it.
There was a big point there that during the season they were all coming on the pitch and all that, and that sort of gets stopped a bit. It's just a trend, and it's social media. People see it on social media and they think it's good. And,
yeah.
It's not right, And these people have got to be made to. They've got to be made to pay. I know. It's just the tip of the iceberg getting one, but it's a start.
Yeah, exactly. And just kind of on potential outgoings from West Ham, moving away from the final. Supposedly Villa want to sign Lanzini. Do you think that his time at West Ham is up? Would you like to see him staying? What do you think about him potentially going to Aston Villa, who could be a kind of mid-table, top-table rival?
Not getting enough time, is he?
Mm.
He's the one that's been playing it there, and Fornells has been coming on, and I like Lanzini. He's a good player, but Lanzini, Benrahma, Bowen, Paqueta, Rice. I mean, that's a hell of a fight across the middle. There's only one tackler there, and that's Rice. So it's a strange one. It depends who he's bringing in. If he brings Harvey Barnes, then he'll be gone. I would think if it's coming in, that's Barnes is good going forward, but he can put his foot in and tackle and do the hard work as well. Or the ugly work, whatever you call it. He can tackle back, and he can be part of a team.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it would be for me, but I don't know if they'll let him go to that. I don't know if they'll let him go to Villa. If the boy's not playing, he'll want to go. He'll want to go and play. And I think he knows the manager there, doesn't he? If that's so as we're as listen, they've won the cup, they've got their medal, they've celebrated. They need to get back to work now. But if you don't want to be there, then you've got to go.
Yeah, makes sense. Mm-hmm. Especially if you want to kick on as well.
If you need to play every week. I mean, I just don't see that. We speak about it
all the time.
I can't see why players want to stay there when they're not getting a game.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the boy Phillips. Thank God when he won it. He's absolutely butting it. You'd think he was the main man. He won 2 games. And I know it's a squad thing and he was there. But then you go after the realisation kicks in and say, I'm not played enough games. I need to go. That would be me. So Lanzini wants more game time than he's got to go.